Hey guys, what's up? We're back at you this year, the Knowitalls. I got my bookends. Obviously, I'm Big Jimmy Bell. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Andrew Allison.
Young Buck. We're gonna give him a nickname too. We're working on that. We're gonna give him a nickname in the next couple weeks and you're gonna love it too. And to my left,
J. Thomas, JT, whatever you wanna call me, just call me.
Hey, make sure you guys check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and any questions you have, you guys shoot them to us and we'll address them. But we're gonna get right into this. The victory bell. What about the victory, guys? What did you guys think about the Buckeyes?
Well, I mean, 77-10, there's not much you can say about that game besides JT Barrett's 2 passes, one that was intercepted for a touchdown, the one that should have been intercepted that the defender just dropped. The offensive line was a little shaky to begin with, but besides that, not much that you can complain.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
Well, I thought that we seen what we expected to see. JT obviously has definite command of the offense, and he ran it to perfection. He's been in the offense playing now for 3 years. So with that being said, we seen him pass the ball, distribute it to other players, and get everybody involved and made plays. And I basically seen what I expected to see out of JT.
I was excited and disappointed, and I think that's probably the story of my flow. But I was excited because of the explosion. Curtis Samuel, the defensive backfield, the offense looked explosive. I love the fact that we had an obvious impact player. That's only if Urban uses him. And he hasn't shown that he trusts anyone else except for the doggone quarterback, right? But I hope, for me, Curtis Samuel, and I thought this would be the case coming in, would be our version of McCaffrey out in Stanford. And he's proven that he can catch the ball and take it to the house. He's proved that he can take it out the backfield and take it to the house. And I'm sure if he did special teams, he can be that type of an impact player. Now, on the offensive side, I'm probably a little bit different than the rest of you guys, but my man Weber was a little bit disappointing to me. Only because of the hype. Like, his hype was that he was the guy coming in, right? The freshman coming in started. Well, when I'm thinking about a freshman coming in started, I'm thinking about my man Maurice Claret, right? Is that fair? I ain't saying it is, but that's the case, right? I'm thinking of guys like that even when Eddie George played and these amazing guys. And the fact that there were literally 6 plays where he didn't anticipate not getting tackled and he would get tripped up by the shoestring, I have a problem with that, right? You know what I'm saying? You're playing running back. Why are you expecting to get tackled? You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty average to me. And man, and I've been on my man Urban since he got here. He probably heard and doesn't like me for it. But man, that defense, Ohio State, since Urban has gotten here, has gotten so caught up in the score, in the power, but no one pays attention to the fact that we're no longer tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, we actually have to earn the silver bullets tag back. And we haven't had it and we haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? The defensive line look average or less than average at best. The linebackers look non-existent, and minus the 2 amazing interceptions by the safety, we pretty much look, a little bendish but don't breakish. You know what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. I definitely thought that the D-line was not getting the push consistently that you would like to see from an Ohio State D-line. I mean, history, you look back at history, I mean, going with you guys always dominated that line of scrimmage, especially when opposing quarterbacks drop back to pass, and we just didn't see that. And it's something I guess we don't want to overreact too much, but there are going to be some tougher teams on that schedule. So we don't want to Ohio State doesn't want to get into a situation this year where we're just trying to outscore everybody. Like you said, we need them silver bullets back. You want to have balance offensively and defensively this year. So they got some things to improve.
I definitely think we have to sincerely improve. It goes on to what time is it? Y'all remember the old what was it? The Ravens? No, who was that? That was the Bulls. What time is it? Game time, right? Hey, check it out. Tulsa scored 40-something points last week. When you go and check it out,
Who did they play?
that's a great question. I forgot who they played. I didn't look at who they played. I just looked at the stats. But their stats are literally parallel in retrospect to the 44 points they scored and the 70-something points we scored to Ohio State. Actually, even looking at the defensive side, their points, you know, the passing yards given out and the running yards given out, to me it was a little scary to see that we actually looked really close to what Tulsa did last week. And the fact that they're coming into the horseshoe and they look like that, like their defensive stats look like our defensive stats, you know, I don't know exactly how I feel about that.
Yeah. Well, with Tulsa, they're going to be your typical Big 12 team where they're passing the ball, they're throwing it out, they're going deep, they're spreading you wide, and they're going to try to score as many points as they can with little defense. And that's why I'm not too worried about them on the defensive side. I'm worried, but on the offensive side, Ohio State should take care of Tulsa's defense. The backfield, though, for the defense is going to have to step up. I mean, you had Malik Hooker make 2 great plays last week, but we're basing that off of one performance. You only have one starter returning from last season, and it's going to be probably the first test of this secondary.
Listen, and Andrew, you're dead on it, and I didn't bring it up before. Our defensive backfield looked lost in some instances, right? Like, you can call it young, you can call it something, but there were plays, if not series, where they literally looked like, I don't know if it was they didn't know where to be, or they didn't know how the heck to get there, but they didn't look like that they were there, right? If Bowling Green was the same Bowling Green from last year, it would have looked a little bit different. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree, because that Bowling Green team last year, they definitely made some noise. But that's like the point I was bringing up a couple minutes ago. You know, you never know which MAC school is going to be on top. One year Bowling Green may be good, then the next year they'll fall off. Same with the Kent State or sometimes Miami of Ohio or what have you. They'll start off good, or they'll have a good season and then they'll go to the bottom of the barrel. So so I totally agree. If Bowling Green was that team last year, then it might have been a better test for Ohio State. So I think Tulsa this year is definitely, like Andrew said, they're going to throw the ball. That's what they do. They like to spread the ball around to equal. There's never one player that they're trying to highlight or feature. They like to spread the ball around and attack you that way. They definitely play very little defense. So it's going to be a really good test for Ohio State. I would like to see their D line, like I said earlier, get more pressure, make it a little bit more confusing from a pressure standpoint for the quarterback to deliver and distribute the ball, make him have to make quicker decisions and stay on his toes. So that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing in this game.
I don't think they're going to outscore us, but I think our defense is going to have a little trouble. Tulsa is actually a little bit more balanced than even what people consider. That's why I don't look at the scores. Whenever I look at a team and who they play, yeah, I do take into account the MAC, Conference USA, who teams play, but I also look at the team that I'm evaluating, right? So regardless of the score, Andrew brought it up earlier, even our offensive line had 7 to 9 penalties. That makes an amazing difference, right? So now you take Curtis Samuel going 80-something yards a couple times, you take this guy with a bomb, and it almost eliminates the fact that there were some crucial mistakes being made, right? On the defensive side, the only score that they had was a field goal, right? So we look at that, we look at the 2 amazing interceptions that we've had in the defensive backfield, and we say, man, we had a great game. And I'm like, huh? We had 1 sack. Right. Like 1 sack, and it was on the 3rd team by Bosa against probably nobody, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? And these are guys that were highly touted. We were talking about, man, LJ was talking, Larry Johnson was talking about that we had 10 to 11 guys that could actually start and they're going to play and rotate. Sam Hubbard, everyone's talking about, is supposed to be this more athletic Bosa and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make plays. If you're not making plays, I come from the Coach Haycock, Coach Puggich era at the end of my career, where, you know, in the beginning of my career, we did play that defensive line is responsible for keeping the linebacker safe.
Right.
Well, once Coach Chaycott came, he's like, dude, if you're not making plays, then you can't play, right? We were responsible for literally being a part of 65%.